What is up, everybody? It is Ted here. Ted here with Bodies and Wicks. Hope everybody is having a great, wonderful day. I want to see if this is actually streaming or not. It looks like it's doing a lot better than it was before. I think I knew what the problem was. I was overdoing my bitrate. Definitely overdoing my bitrate. So I was doing my bitrate at about 4,000 kilobytes per second. Should have been about 2,500, right? So that's what was killing me before. I am back now to where I am doing just fine. It looks like the stream is doing just fine. So that is going to be awesome. Anyways, what we're going to talk about today is, well, we're going to continue on Ethereum, of course, since that has been the theme of the weekend. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, where it's at. Right, I'm not going to do any altcoins today. We're going to jump into Forex after that and look at the weekly outlook on Ethereum, or sorry, not Ethereum, on GBPUSD, EURUSD, gold. I want to look at the Canadian dollar, and I want to look at EURGBP. Right, so what I do, if you have never seen my channel, I am a smart money theorist. So basically anything that you have learned in the retail world, right? Anything that you have, possibly learned, I guess you could say, throw that out the window, because we're going to take that and basically go against everything that you have learned in the retail world. Smart money basically does the opposite of what of retail does, and there's certain specific things that we look for, certain specific retracements that we look for, certain I should say orders of price action, things like that. So that's what we look for. And so if you do enjoy that type of stuff, what I would encourage you to do is to please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I know I'm in the way of it, but there it is right there. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That way we can get the word out to as many people as possible, and that way they can learn more about smart money and how it helps people make money. Like I said yesterday, I was over 200 pips in Ethereum alone. Just from smart money, price action watching, things like that, and that, and I actually just made about 20 pips just now in Ethereum. I could have got it in earlier, but I wasn't watching it up until about now. But let's go ahead and head to the chart, shall we, and talk about Ethereum, since it is right at where I want it to be. It is now breaking the high. So this is what I was going to talk about, was that since there was a high right here, Ethereum was getting near it. Everybody was probably thinking it was going to sell. Smart money says to buy, right? So of course it was going to buy right through that high. How high is it going to get above the high? That is what I've actually been looking for, because I know it's going to retrace after that. It may not, though. This may be the new high, to be honest, because I'm looking over here in this price action, and I am not really finding a bullish order block. The last up candle before the last down candle, before it just goes straight down, right? And that would have probably been this green candle right here. So I'm going to get a little bit wider so you guys can see. It probably would have been this green candle right here, right? See, it pushes up, and I'm on the 1 hour chart. So if it pushes up, then boom, it goes down. And then after that, we see the movement downward, because after that, or before that, we were actually just kind of in a consolidation when it hit a high, right? Came up, bumped it, came down, then whoop, wicked, got the high, and then continued on, right? Now at the high, which is interesting, is if we get into the 5-minute chart, and this is why I think it might go all the way to the high, right? Is because I don't really see a bearish order block, even getting into the 5 minutes of it. I mean, usually you see these things in the 4-hour, right? You would probably see it in the 4-hour chart, and I'm not seeing a bearish order block in the 4-hour chart at all. It would be, but there's a huge wick right here, right? See this huge wick right in between the two, right? That wick right there just tells me that there is no order block that's going to be possibly pushing this thing down. Now, what Ethereum more than likely is going to do is it's going to push through this high and then pull back a little bit, and then and then go forward. That way, it takes out the people who are doing the stop runs, your buy stops, right? If they place their buy stops and they think that this is going to be the new support, right? So instead, what it does is it triggers those stop runs, and then pulls back right behind those guys, and then goes forward. And where would it pull back to? I think it'd pull back to where the spike is, right? It has to hit some kind of price action. But then again, we're in the 4-hour. It may be somewhere else. So no, why is, yeah, it's right there because that's the high. So and what I did is I drew this all the way down to here, way when it that way when it pulled up. I wanted to see if it was going to get around the 80 mark. It got past the 80 mark, of course. So now we're definitely in possible new high territory, right? Because not only that, I mean, just look at these spikes. So these are liquidity runs, right? That would be called liquidity runs in a 4-hour chart. These are not solid candles. If these were solid candles, I would be worried, right? Because then it would just be a straight boom, straight up and then a straight down. That would be something to be cause of concern. But instead, what we're looking at now is we're looking at this to be a liquidity point, right? Right, so now it's possibly looking to break this. And the same thing for this guy, right? Since these are just big wicks, right? They're not full candles, these are big wicks. And then the only cause of concern that I would have, and it's not even the green candle, because the green candle's right here, right? So it pushed up as hard as it could and then fell down and then went back up. So right, at least whenever it came over, it fell down, it went back up, and then dropped again. So there's no really solid state that would cause this thing to fall. Like I said, if anything, it might pull up and then pull back just to take out some stop run people. But then again, I think there's a lot of people selling right now, and that's why it is going to continue to buy. It's going to continue to buy and probably break all of these liquidity points, and we're probably going to see a new high very, very soon. Maybe tonight. I think maybe tonight we'll probably see a new high in Ethereum. That's just me. That's just everything that I see from a smart money perspective. Again, just the liquidity points. I mean, no solid order blocks, nothing like that is in play. I see Ethereum rising to the top here, so which is good news. Good news for anybody who has had money in Ethereum or put money in Ethereum, especially at the high, and didn't realize they were at the high. They were just like, hey, let me put some money in Ethereum. It looks like it's gonna, be a good thing, and then it drops after that. Then you lose. I don't know, however much you put in, a couple $100, whatever. And you get scared, and then you want to sell it all, right? You want to sell it all because you don't know if it's going to come back. Well, it's going to come back, right? Ethereum is definitely going to come back, and it's going to come back with vengeance. That's what I think. I think after this, what we're probably going to see is we're probably going to see it hit 1480. Reason I say that is, let me delete this, right? And let me do a Fibonacci going the other way. This is why I think we're going to see, or sorry, not 1480, 1800 is what I was thinking. So the reason I was thinking 1800 is because it would be the full 100%, or I guess 200% extension of the current trade, I guess you could say, or the current wave of, from the high to the low, right? If you take that and you take that same size and put it on top of each other, then you get 1830, right? So I think this is where we're headed to next, right? Is this 1830? I think this is the ultimate goal. We're probably going to have some, some trials and tribulations getting there. But I think once it gets 1830, it's probably going to stall again. Or what it could do is it could just rush all the way into 1830, and we'll just see it rush to 1830. Who knows? So I'm going to put a line here, and I am going to make this and call it next goal. Now I knew I should have held my my trade. What I did is I bought probably somewhere around here, around 1370, and I knew the high was around 1388, was it, or 13? Forgot what it was. Let me see if I can find it here. Yep, the high was about 1388, and I got in around I got in 1365.72. So it did hit my 1388, and now it's continuing on. Right, so as you can see, it did hit 1400. So since 1400 is a round number, that would definitely probably cause it to retrace, just for sheer round numbers. A big round number is especially is where somebody, like a big businessman, is, smart money, not really smart money, but somebody that has a ton of Ethereum, who thinks it's probably going to fall again, would say, okay, well, it got above that high, but is it going to get above the next high? I don't really know, so I'm going to sell it off. So where they sell it off to, right around there, probably right after. They would just, go to a round number and be like, well, what's the nearest big round number? And they're gonna go 1400, and so they go, okay, all right, sell off at 1400 then. And so that's when they start selling off at 1400. So I'm gonna make this a green line, right where we know exactly. I mean, exactly 1400. Look at that. Exactly 1400. That does not surprise me one bit. One big round number. Again, fall back, to pull back all the people that were going long, and then has had this as support, right? They're probably thinking that these highs here that we're going along And there was another high over here, actually. If we get down in the 5-minute chart, there was another high over here. So there was a couple highs all together that I knew it was going to get over, because that's where liquidity is. It wasn't going to just stop there and then bounce back. It's going to break through it and then bounce back, right? Because that's what liquidity does. And I'm going to remove this guy over here really quick. Right. So now we're seeing it retrace. Let's actually get into the 5-minute of these things, right? So that we can kind of get into the nit-grit of it. Or maybe there wasn't. Oh yeah, it was yeah, I think it was this guy right here that I had. Oops, didn't mean to move that. Let's not move things here. I think, what was it that I had a line that was just below it? I think it probably was this guy. Either way, it has broken this high, right? No, it's going to probably fall until it gets comfortable into a position to where it's going to buy again, and then we should see it buy after that. I don't think we're going to see it fall here. I really don't. There's a possibility that this could be the high, you know, and it start falling again, just like kind of Bitcoin did. Whenever it reached its high, you know, it fell down, pulled up, and then sold after that, and then it kind of got scary. Ethereum is just a little bit behind, and that's about it. So I think the next thing to do is to wait to see what Ethereum is going to do. We need to have like an Ethereum rock or something like that, like placed out in Yellowstone National Park. That way, whenever you go to Yellowstone, you can be like, I remember those days of Ethereum, because it's just probably by then it'll like be a thing of like, you know, normalcy. And having it etched in them, like, you know, a rock would be, you know, like symbolism of like early human civilization, being like, oh, that Ethereum, I hated you. No, I love Ethereum, and I think it's made me a lot of money yesterday, and it probably could have made me a lot more today had I actually got up earlier, since I was up until 6 in the morning, you know, doing this. So I slept most of the day. I think I woke up at like 1 o'clock, and I thought it was Monday. So I was freaking out, and I was like, oh my God, I'm late for work. I'm late for work. And luckily I wasn't late for work. Hey man, sold that. Sorry, just not reading your message. And got an Ethereum this morning, thinking I made a good move right about now. Oh yeah, you did. You definitely did. If you want me to take a look at Bitcoin Cash, we can do that. Did you swap it on like an exchange? And if so, which exchange did you swap it on? Riverhood? Do you mean Robinhood? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Bitcoin Cash. I think it doesn't have Robinhood on here, so we're just gonna have to go with just go with one, and then we'll see what the prices are across the different crypto markets here. 442, 439, and Kraken has it pretty high. Maybe I shouldn't have actually started a Kraken account. Coinbase is pretty low. Bitstamp's kind of low. But you know, I'm not really for sure about the fees. Kraken really doesn't have the fees. You just have to like go with like a third-party bank, I think. Coinbase has some pretty high fees. So what we'll do here, screw it. It's gonna be about the same anyway. Just open it up on a chart and see what happened with Bitcoin Cash. I know it had like a big like jump for like a second and then like it fell back down. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, that big jump and then it fell back down. And it came up, right, and it had equal highs. Went through those equal highs, but as soon as it went through those equal highs, what did it do? Hit a bearish order block, and you can definitely tell that's a bearish order block right there. Right, so it hit that bearish order block and then boom, fell. So yeah, you definitely made the right move. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bitcoin Cash is going to be a good mover, but it's not going to be the mover that Ethereum is going to be. Ethereum is definitely going to be the mover, I think. So like I said, it just fell. It fell back down. Well, it actually almost, you know, this could have satisfied probably the people that actually did the stop runs. I don't think there was that many people doing the stop runs. So comes back down. It touches the last candle that pushed down right before it went back up. And that was this guy right here. Even though it's a green candle, right? It just means that it ended positive, but the top of it means that it pushed down. So since it pushed down, right? And you can see this is a solid red candle, solid green candle, solid green candle, solid green candle. So this is a huge order block right here. I wouldn't say order block, but it's basically one solid candle, and it kind of overshadowing everything. So this is going to tell me that Ethereum is going to be on the rise. And look, it's already on its way to try to break this next liquidity point. Then after that, it's probably going to try to break the next liquidity point. And then after that, it's probably going to try to break the next liquidity point, which would be the all-time high. Right. And the reason I don't have this sitting at the, wait, why is there a liquidity point way up here? It'd be right here. I download that Bybit app, thinking of swapping all over that. What do you think of Bybit? I lost $100 selling to Bitcash, but hoping to recoup Ethereum if I'm lucky. Ether broke 1400 again. Yeah, Ether broke 1400 again. This is good news. What's the max it'll go? Like I said, I'm looking right now at 1830. Right here. 1828. I think this is where I think this is the next goal for Ethereum. And the reason I say that again is because that is the full 100%. If we were to go from, you know, the current high, right, to where, you know, the highest high, the new all-time high, to the new low it just made, right, and we were to flip that, it would be 1830, right? And that's what price likes to do. Price likes to be symmetrical, right? So I think eventually it will go up and go to 1830. And it could go higher than that, but just right now, I think this is where Ethereum is going. And like I said, it's just aiming. Look, it already aimed for that liquidity point and nailed it. Why, you know, nailed the liquidity point, pulled back a little bit, I think. Did it not? Why is there a I have no idea why there is a line right there. That makes no sense. Because this was the first liquidity point, right? Now we have the second liquidity point, which it just hit. Make sure it hit it. So pulled it to the highest high of that liquidity point. Boom. Yep, went through it. Pulled back just a little bit. Again, these are the people that are sitting at those liquidity points thinking it's going to do a buy stop, right? And then they have the short stop losses, so it pulls back, you know, takes them out, and then goes forward. Sorry, Defosca, I'm getting to your question now. I honestly have no idea what Bybit is. I really don't. I'm kind of more familiar with Binance, Kraken, KuCoin, and a couple others, but I don't really know much about Bybit. What I will tell you is Robinhood, and I have bought crypto in Robinhood too. Robinhood does not have an address. Robinhood does not have Bitcoin addresses. It's the weirdest thing. I thought with Robinhood, you know, with it being crypto, they would have, you know, Bitcoin addresses, so you could, you know, send Bitcoin to and from, you know, Robinhood if you wanted to. They don't have that, so it's kind of scary. I don't like having you know, purchasing Bitcoin but not having a wallet for it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like there's especially like, you know, there's those new like hard wallets or like you know, the digital wallet things that you can like carry around. I'm definitely gonna be getting one of those soon. But like if you were to have one of those things, let's say you travel to another country and you wanted to, like, you know, purchase something with some kind of you know, altcoin or Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, you wouldn't be able to do it because it would all be in uh 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 Robinhood. So I'm taking all my crypto out of Robinhood ASAP. The sad thing is that I have a lot of Ethereum in Robinhood. And I didn't realize it because like I use Robinhood for my stocks, which is it's perfect for stocks, you know. It's really good for stocks. But for crypto, it is not good for crypto. It's, I mean, yeah, but the prices are higher. Um, but you know, and I think the prices are higher because there's no fees or anything like that. The good thing about crypto and Robinhood is that you can, especially if you have a big account, which big account meaning $25,000 or more, you could, you know, day trade crypto and, you know, sell it and then, you know, buy another one that's going to be good, and then, you know, sell it and buy another one that's going to be good. But the thing with Robinhood is it doesn't have nearly as many altcoins as what you would want to find, right? The thing is, I'm honestly, I like the White Heart project. I love that coin. The problem is I cannot find an exchange that sells it. I want to try to buy White Horse so bad. So if we go to I think it's crypto, what is it, market cap crypto or something, crypto market cap, yeah, coin market cap. I feel like I have, oh yeah, I do have it bookmarked. Is there a search? Yeah, let's search for it. So it has a it's kind of a mid cap. But let's see here. Oh yeah, mid cap is about 32,000. But diluted volume down. White. I mean, look at the price of it. $36,000. You know, by heart. I mean, I don't think it was that much that long ago. I really don't think it was. Well, December 30th, it was 1,100. You know, now it's at, you know, almost 4,000. I cannot find where to purchase it. Somebody told me it was on Uniswap too, but I can't figure it out. Defosky. Yeah, is it either skyrocketing? Yeah, it's because it's trying to hit all of these liquidity points. I'm telling you, it's probably gonna break a new high tonight. And if that's the case, I should probably get in it on a CFD trade and see if I can't make some money. Okay, because I don't think it broke the next liquidity point, did it? No, it didn't break the next liquidity point. So the next liquidity point is here, which is what is that? 1426. I have no idea what this other line is. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's kind of getting in the way. So next liquidity point, 1426. So what we should be seeing. While we're doing that, instead of Bitcoin Cash, let's check out Bitcoin, because I do want to see what is going on with Bitcoin. Because it doesn't look like it looks good, does it? How do you judge when to sell? That's a great question. For one, are you talking if we're talking about Ethereum? First, watch the liquidity points, right? Your fib is going to be your best friend, right? Your Fibonacci is going to be your best friend, especially if you have them at these levels. I'm telling you, put them at these levels. Well, and what I do is I put them at negative. That way, whenever yeah, either. Okay, so whenever like you say see, like, look at this. Okay, so put these levels in your fib, right? These are the smart money Fibonacci levels, right? Right, so you, of course, you have your 50%. Don't worry about your 20s and your 30s or anything above 50%. That's going to be all nonsense. I think I moved something, so I'm going to put that back. Oops. Okay, there we go. You want your 50%, right? You want to put 62. which is basically, you know, your 61.8, but it gives you a little bit of a leeway. You want to put 70.5%. 70.5% is going to be, that is the golden zone. That you're going to see it. You're going to see if you pull the fib at the right place, you know, at where it's supposed to be, right, which is where it, you know, it's either at the high and there, wherever it's at its low, and it like skyrockets up, right? If it kind of meanders along and then it skyrockets up, that's where you put the bottom of the fib, is where the skyrocket part starts, right? And if you go to the top, you're going to see almost every time it's going to retrace back into that 62% and almost hit that 70.5%, if not hit that 70.5% all the time, right? So knowing when to sell is going to be just basically placing your fibs and then watching you know, the extensions of the fibs. So like I said, these are going to be when to buy, right? So your 62, your 70.5, your, and also your 79%, your 0.79. This is called your golden zone, right? So it happened. So as soon as it gets above the 50, more than likely it's going to fall back down into the golden zone, right? It happens almost every time, right? It happened with Ether just now, or today, and not today, yesterday morning, whenever we caught it. I want to put a box in it so you guys can see. So this would be your golden zone to buy, right? And oops, didn't mean to do that. We can change the colors on these, that way we know, hey, this is golden zone to buy, right? Why did that not change? Oh, because I hit the wrong one. All right, golden zone to buy. All right, now when to sell. This is amazing. This is amazing. All right, we are about to hit the high. Pulling back a little bit. And the high is what? 1444. All right, since I was gonna do a video on a bunch of different stuff, but you know, since Ethereum is a huge thing right now, we're just gonna watch Ethereum for a little bit. When to sell is going to be again your extensions. Your extensions are going to be 127, right? %, 150, 162, and then also the double, which is going to be, you know, the 200% basically. That is going to be your know how and know when to sell. Wow, we are actually getting so close to the new high. I just exited the trade, and even though I shouldn't have, I wanted to exit just in case it started going backwards. Now what it's gonna do, we did breach the new high. We breached the new high, guys. We just breached a new high on Ethereum. Holy crap. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. Now, what's probably gonna happen with Ether, right? It's probably gonna fall back a little bit, because what you're gonna have is you're gonna have dweebs that are gonna do this, right? They're gonna have their long position set right there, right? And they're gonna have a very, very short stop loss, right? And the reason they're gonna have a very, very short stop loss is because they're gonna think it's gonna come back down, hit this as a support, and then go back up. What did it do? Oh, it already fell below that. See what I'm talking about? It fell below And honestly, it probably gonna keep falling a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if it falls back down to like 1420 or something like that. But we broke Ethereum's new high. I hope you guys were, well, I hope you guys own Ethereum for one. But if I don't know if you guys know how to trade CFDs, which is contracts for difference. If MetaTrader 4 is the app that you use for that, right? That's what I use, is MetaTrader 4. I only put in a 10-cent bet, right? Or it basically, it would be a bet basically. So and for every for if you put in a 10-cent bet, what happens is that anytime that Ethereum makes $1, you make $1. So you could have an account of $80, right? Or, you know, $60, right? You put in a 10-cent bet and you know Ethereum's going to skyrocket. You can make $100, $200, $300 off 10 cents. Off 10 cents. That's all it is. I'm literally not kidding. So what it's called is a lot size, right? You have a regular lot size, which is a 1.00. That's going to be $10 per pip, right? There are 10 pips in $1, right? So if you were to do a regular lot size, right, for 10 pips, right, which is a pip is a percentage in point. So if you never heard the term pip, it means percentage in point. If you were to do a regular lot size in Ethereum does $1, that's 10 pips, and that's $10 per pip, you would make $100 just for Ethereum making $1, right? Again, this is in MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 4 app. This is what the professionals use. This is how the professionals trade. And so that's how I've been using for Ether as far as trading is. I own stake in Ether. I own, things like that. But, it's kind of like trading futures. But there's no limits, right? There would be, I guess, a strike price, but that strike price would be, okay, so for every 10 cents, there is a 5-cent fee that goes to the broker, right? So if you were to do a $10 lot, there would be a $5 fee that goes to the broker, right? So you would have to make over $5 to actually be in the positive, right? So if you make $100 on Ethereum for it going $1, you've made $95 because you only lost $5 to the broker, and that's it. So, and I honestly, I knew it was going to go higher, so I just hit buy and waited for it to see how high it would get. And I closed it, and I should have closed it a little bit later, but I closed it at 1442.31. Sorry.